The next thing we are going to see is construction verb plus verb. So we are going to see how this verb comes when you have two different verbs. So here in this case, the verbs are aimer and me lever. So when you have a negative, you put the ne and the pas before the first verb. Je n'aime pas me lever tôt. So the first verb takes the negation ne and pas. And you know the rule, when we conjugate the first verb, the second verb takes the infinitive form. So lever, but since it is je, the reflexive is me. Je n'aime pas me lever tôt. The next example, il. Now here the two verbs are v and se coucher. So the first verb is conjugated for il and that verb takes ne and pas. The second verb is in the infinitive form. Il ne veut pas se coucher tard. Now that we have learnt this, the next one is in the passé composé. So how do we write these verbs in the passé composé? So now here we take the verb lève and we take the être conjugation as the auxiliary. So the être, the auxiliary, comes in between the verb and the reflex. So in between the verb and the reflex, we take the auxiliary. Now for je, it is suis. Je me suis lève. Now the past participle of the verb lever, it is an er verb. So it is lever. And we write the past participle. Please be clear, you do not have to conjugate this because we are conjugating être. So next, tu. The reflex is the past participle is lever, and the être conjugation for tu is a. Tu t'es levé. Next for il, the reflex is sa. Lever is the past participle. Finally, the être conjugation is a. Il s'est levé. And for elle s'est levée. And if you remember, when être is the auxiliary, we have to make sure the verb agrees with the subject. So in this case, the subject is elle. So it is feminine singular. So we add an e. Moving on, for nous, the reflex is also nous. The être conjugation is sont. And the past participle is levé. Now the subject here is nous, which is plural. So we add an s. Similarly, for vous, the reflex is also vous. The être conjugation is êtes, vous êtes. And the past participle levé. Again here the subject is plural. So we take an s. Ils se sont levés. Il, the reflex is se, être conjugation sont and levé. Subject is plural, so the verb takes an s. Finally, elles se sont, it's the same, levé. So the difference between this and this is the extra e, because elle is third person feminine plural. So feminine we add an e and plural we add an s. So this is also very simple. Passé composé, all you have to remember is the auxiliary comes in between the reflex and the verb. Auxiliary in between reflex and the past participle of the verb. Now when we use être, we have to make sure that it agrees, the past participle agrees with the subject. So we add an e to indicate feminine, s to indicate plural.